Welcome to Wicked Quran Teachings and its destructive effect on humanity. This is episode 1. Quran says the others hate you and conspire against you. We will prove that. But first, we would like to share with you this. Intellectual Islamists in the West tend to hide Quran hate speech. Of course, why? We know why. But the general public who practice this religion does not notice much evil teaching the Quran, because when they read the Quran, they read it to gain hasanat, good deeds, as we will prove now. Evidence, well, it's a public Islamic culture supported by hadith and fatwa, like the following hadith in Al-Tirmidhi. Let's read it together. Narrated Muhammad ibn Ka'b al-Qurayzi. I heard Abdullah ibn Abbas saying, the messenger of Allah said, whoever recites a letter from Allah's book, Quran of course, then he receives the reward from it and the reward of 10 like of it. So as you see clear here, each time you read a letter from the Quran, there are some rewards. Of course, a mind that is busy gathering and calculating good deeds will not stop and evaluate those teachings and whether it is from God or not, because his mind obviously is busy calculating, oh hey, I'm getting good deeds while I'm reading the Quran. Each letter I read counts, so he probably will be reading faster to gain more rewards, and he will not stop on the meanings much. That would be rare, right? Also, based on Surah 56, starting from Ayah 77, that is indeed a Quran. I'm quoting the Quran now. That is indeed a Quran most honorable, in a book well guarded, which none shall touch but those who are clean. So as you see, who wrote the Quran is trying to create an aura of holiness around the Quran as being very holy. Nobody unclean should touch it. But because of the teaching, sorry to say, the Quran is unfortunately unclean. So who practice the religion because of this fake aura of holiness around it usually will not be able to see the ugly truth of it. You need to be objective when you read the Quran in order to evaluate its teachings. Now, going forward in today's episode and coming, we will present, number 1, Quranic hate speech toward non-Muslim world. Quran bigotry against the others. How Quran deforms the followers of other religions. Quran says that the others conspire on Islam. We see that very clearly in Surah 10, Surah Al-Baqarah, and verse 120. Never will the Jews nor the Christians be pleased with you, O Muhammad, till you follow their religion. Well, at least I know half of this ayah is wrong. Simply Jews doesn't prostrate. You never saw a Jew in the street prostrating and inviting you to Judaism? I never saw that. Nobody saw even one Jew in the street invite people to Judaism. They don't want you to follow the religion. Also, we see clearly in the Quran text a deep intent to make sure whoever read and believe to hate the Jews and the polytheists. Al-Mushrikeen. Al-Mushrikeen means in English polytheists, the people who worship multiple gods. Surah 582, verily you will find the strongest among men in enmity to the believers, meaning Muslims, the Jews, and those who are al-Mushrikeen. Let's go deep into that. Surah 582, so we saw in Surah 582 the Jews among who hate the Muslims, the Jews, and who are al-mushrikeen. As you see, the ayah didn't say some of the Jews, or it didn't say of the Jews who are hateful. It just said the Jews. Is not that racial mainstreaming? Is not that a racist remark and stereotyping? Surah 582 simply says the Jews hate Muslims. What kind of remark is that? I'll leave that to your judgment. Surah 582 also, in regards to the polytheists, it, as we see, it have the same generalization and mainstreaming, because it says not some of al-mushrikeen, it just said who are al-mushrikeen. So it has the same racial mainstreaming. Is that bigotry towards all other religions like Hinduism, Shinto, or others? Also, we find the following scandal in tafsir for this ayah 582. We are reading now from Ibn Kathir. This describes, he is interpreting the text 582. This describes the Jews since their belief is that of rebellion defines opposing the truth, belittling other people, and degrading the scholars. This is why the Jews, may Allah's continued curses descend on them until the day of resurrection. So Ibn Kathir, the most famous tafsir for Quran in all history, is, because of this ayah, is cursing the Jews until, cursing all the Jews until the day of resurrection. Is not that hate speech? Regardless what the Jews said, killed some of their prophets, did this, did that, but just like cursing the whole people of one religion until the days of judgment. What do you call that? Tafsir Ibn Kathir, and you have the link. One last word for today before surahs that wages war toward other religions. Muhammad first had to make sure to invest among his followers the proper motive. First, he need to spread hate and bigotry. That is why wait for us in more episodes for more evidences of Quran hateful teachings. Until we see you next time. And this is the email for your reference for questions and feedback. God bless you all.